It was the evening of July the 9th, 2006. The air seemed charged with the promise of seismic electric passion. No, nothing to do with Sven and Ulrika. This was the World Cup final between France and Italy, and 715 million jaws around the world were about to simultaneously hit the floor.
I remember watching that with my mates and honestly turning to each other. We could not believe that had just happened.
I must admit, my heart dropped.
It was just a pub I was into, utter silence. No one knew what to say. You were like, wow.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, yeah, you can't believe actually happened, but it did.
The match was the grand stage for Zinedine Zidane, one of the greatest footballers ever, to take his final bow.
The stage was set for the great man to make a great exit, and it didn't quite end like that.
Zidane scored an audacious penalty. And then, with the scores level at 1-1, came a moment so shocking, the powers that be won't even let us show it.
You can't excuse that. Zidane's career ends in disgrace.
He's just lost it for no discernible reason and in front of so many people, and just nutted him.
I found it absolutely unbelievable that such a career that involved so much elegance and art should end with the kind of thing that someone might do in a pub after 10 pints of lager.
The planet reeled in shock, and then began a giant game of Chinese whispers.
Happy talk, keep talking, happy talk.
He must have said something horrendous, you know, just out of order, inexcusable, to provoke that reaction.
I knew they'd said something really horrible because Zidane's face changed, and it could have only been something to do with his family.
The other story is that there was a rumour about Zidane and some unpleasant personal business that had taken place in Turin when he was at Juventus, and that Marcello Lippi, who was manager of Juventus at the time, said to Materazzi, mention this to Zidane and just see what the reaction will be. And we did see the reaction.
In his farewell game from the sport, on the biggest stage of all, Zidane had capitulated. Italy won the World Cup on penalties, but the match will always be remembered for a moment of madness.
I don't feel sorry for Zidane, and I don't feel sorry for the French, because that won us the World Cup.
But there was one final sad, shocking and epic moment as Zidane did the ultimate walk of shame.
That vision of Zidane walking past the World Cup trophy as he exited the pitch is iconic now.
The best player in the world at the time walking past the World Cup that he should have won but has just thrown away because he's nutted a guy is a very arresting and powerful image.
But it's over now.
Cheerio then.